Good afternoon, everybody. I just wanted to take a couple minutes and explain where we're going to be heading in terms of our next unit. Um, so if you have been on Blackboard today in the last hour or so, you'll see that I added uh, our final module. So if you navigate to our Blackboard page, and if you look under Short Fiction, Unit 3 Short Fiction, there's now a Notes, Handouts, Resource tab that's available. Everything that you're going to need for this unit is right there. So I've tried to make this as user-friendly as possible. I think that simpler is probably better in this situation. And so I put everything that you're going to need for the next 4 weeks on a single PowerPoint presentation, and you're going to be able to navigate through that PowerPoint presentation for each of the weeks. Everything is already there. So if you have time this week and you have a fairly light week in terms of your other courses, you could go through and you could finish theoretically everything. So I want to walk you through those resources. I want to talk very quickly about some of the text that we're going to be discussing and talk about how some of these pre-recorded lessons, lectures are going to be going for this unit. All right, so a couple things as you click it, it'll open up like this. But if you open it up like this, just to kind of let you know, you're not going to be able to see any of the content. And I'm not sure why that's the case. I wish it wasn't. You have to go to Open with Google Slides. Once you open it with Google Slides, then all of the content becomes visible. And so I'm going to start presenting this and just kind of show you what's here. Let me move myself up here in the corner. There you go. All right. So this first step is going to be just like all the other units we've done. In poetry, we did kind of a sample demonstration of how to explicate a poem. In drama, we looked at Sure Thing and we did that kind of sample explication of Sure Thing. In short fiction, we're going to be looking at Story of an Hour. And so, as I said, everything here is hyperlinked. So if you click on Read Story of an Hour, it brings you to Story of an Hour. When you come back here, there's a Story of an Hour analysis. It brings you to the Story of an Hour analysis. Uh, it's not my nasally irritating voice. It's somebody else's nasally voice that you're going to hear on there. I'm going to walk through Story of an Hour at a separate time, but for now, I wanted to make sure that you had a resource, and I think that this individual's annotation, explication, and analysis is actually very, very strong. So I directed you towards that. Uh, After we look at Story of an Hour, the first real kind of full-length text that you're going to be uh, using in this unit is going to be Cathedral by Raymond Carver. I have an audio version and I have the text linked here. I think that this audio version is a good one. So you have the option to do whatever you want. I have a journal prompt, and then once I finish the class video, once I do the pre-recorded lecture of this, it'll be right down here. This isn't hyperlinked with anything yet, just because that hasn't happened yet. That's going to be Wednesdays, or excuse me, that's going to be what happens after you read that text, right? So sometime between now and Monday, you'll see that come up. I have literary theory overview linked. I'm going to do a demonstration of how to apply literary theories to a text. I have journaling activities. The major text for this unit is going to be The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Yellow Wallpaper is a kind of second wave feminist text. It's one of my favorite short stories, especially in the kind of context that we're going to be using here. And so we're going to spend some time unpacking that. And I also have 4 texts that are linked to the Yellow Wallpaper. There is The Sexual Politics of Cygnus, which talks a little bit about the rescuer in the 19th century. I have an excerpt here for you. There's The Reincarnation of Jane, which is a article about Charlotte Perkins Gilman's character, Jane, and how she is the reflection of Gilman herself. There's a couple of primary texts, Ware Mitchell, who is the inventor of the rest cure in the late 19th century. And then there's Goethe's Color Wheel, which is going to give us a different perspective on color. That's also a primary text from the 19th century. If you were to choose the yellow wallpaper, you could very, very easily use all four of these texts to motivate your literary research paper. The assignment for the literary research paper is right here. So when you click it, it brings you to our assignment sheet, the same as you would see at any time. If I go back, it walks you through creating a provisional thesis. It walks you through the literary theories, right? A list of literary theories. And then here is where the building the argument, revising a first draft, and submitting your draft to Blackboard is going to live, right? So even though these haven't been populated yet, you can see that that's going to be where they're going to go once that happens. And then the final draft is going to be due by 5/8, right? That's the 8th of May. So you have not quite a month to finish it up. And that leaves exam week for us to do a final reflection if you choose to do the final reflection. So for this week, what I'd really like you to focus on, just to kind of review, what I'd really like you to focus on, and you'll be successful if you're able to accomplish this, I want you to focus on reading Story of an Hour and watching this analysis. And over the weekend, if you could read/listen to Cathedral by Raymond Carver. All right, I'm going to do an explication of Raymond Carver. My guess is that this is going to be up on Monday, that class video. And so you'll be able to watch that as you prepare for step 2, right? So as you begin looking at literary theories and we'll talk about applying literary theories to a specific text. Okay, I hope you're all well. For those of you that have questions, I will be having a live question and answer session, let's see, on Monday. I'll post the Zoom link for that. If you have more pressing concerns, please feel free to send me a remind message. Thank you all so much.